Hey family, welcome. I'm your host, Cut Nice 50. Sit back and relax as we explore some controversial topics and topics that may or may not fall on the radar. Hey, from health, fitness, nutrition, social media, cancel culture, religion, faith, you name it, we're going to cover it, but we're going to spread positive vibes. Hey, sit back and relax. This is Let Us Debate. Tune in and let's get busy. Episode 1, Keeping the Faith. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I don't know if you're watching on Spotify, you listen to us, but thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. Share the episode, and we're going to go ahead and speak a little bit about it. Now, I've been putting off this recording on Spotify for a while. Hopefully I can share this video on there. Like I said, I am new to Spotify, but we've been posting a lot of things on YouTube. But like I said before, cancel culture, some topics are off limits when you're on there. And like I said, even though we're spreading positive energy, positive vibes, we're not judging anybody. We're not spreading hate, violence, you name it. We're going to fall under the guidelines for safety and promoting positive energy. Even with that, certain topics are pretty much banned or eliminated on certain platforms. We all know this, but we're going to talk about keeping the faith in today's society. And sometimes with the cancel culture, it does make it hard. My guy, him and his wife did a podcast and I listened to it today. I don't think they shared it before. I'm gonna put the link in the description below, and you're listen to it and tell me what you think about it. It's gonna be called The Draytons. They're gonna talk about their faith and the experience they're going through right now. I don't want to give too much information about it, but me and my wife had a similar situation, and I'm gonna go into that on another episode. But in this one, man, I was talking about keeping the faith, man. In this breakdown, we're gonna cover faith, health, nutrition, and religion. I don't know if you are a faith believer, but I myself, I'm gonna go ahead and knock that out the way. I do believe in Jesus. I do believe in a Heavenly Father who created everything. I don't call myself or label myself as a Christian. I just believe in Jesus and the Bible, and I'm a Jesus believer. He wasn't no religion. So that's my perception on it. You can take your perception however you want to, because I see good and bad on naming titles and following this way. I remember one time, and I labeled myself a Christian. My dog tags used to say Christian, whatever the case may be. But me and one of my exes at the time, we was going to church, and the pastor, I think he came on to or hit on or whatever the case may be. It wasn't the pastor who was technically preaching at that church, where he was a guest pastor, a speaker at that time, whatever the case. So, stuff like that, and coming up, I'm from South Carolina, I'm from the hood, you name it. We done seen a whole lot of things, and you name some of the pastors now. Are they acting godly? Are they what you consider Christians? Or who knows your definition of Christianity? What is your definition of Christian? I watch a lot of podcasts with a lot of good guys who have amazing faith, religion podcasts. I myself, I'm in health and fitness, health and wellness, nutrition, supplementation, bodybuilding, you name it. 25 years in health and wellness. It's what I love to do and what I like doing. So it kind of makes it a little bit different when you want to, especially when I was saying about social media, you want to spread your message out there. You want to kind of entwine it, because I myself, I mix faith, health, and nutrition all in one, because you got to have your faith. If you already know the Bible, your body is a temple. So I myself personally, I have no tattoos. I try to exercise pretty much daily. It don't matter if it's doing something minimal, but I try to invest in my health. I still got a long way to go. I can do a lot better, but all of us in the same boat, because we all love sugar. We all love sweets and things of that nature, but we are privileged in America. I say it like that. I done travel all around the world, and I done been stationed with some other guys who look down on other people, which is racism, prejudice, you name it, discrimination. I done seen it all, and they look down because they're in a certain country or whatever the case. But if you actually get to know people who's out there trying to do their job, trying to do whatever they got to do, I wasn't raised that way. Even though I don't believe in the victim mentality. We all go through struggles. Hey, fellas, sorry for the interruption. Amber Alert messed up my phone, so it stopped recording. So we must have been talking about some great information, but that's what I was talking about. Another Amber Alert. I'm in Atlanta. We see these Amber Alerts 1 or 2 times pretty much every other day, man. It's so sad to see it. But sex trafficking, y'all don't know. I retired from Georgia Bureau of Investigations. I was over security department and stuff like that. Did it for almost 5 years, but 25 years law enforcement. That's my background. I've been travel the world, man. I'm in almost every country. I met some amazing people, seen some amazing sights. But like I said before, even the countries that they used to call third world countries was beautiful. I see beauty in everything. I used to tell my wife before, sometimes I think most women, they question stuff like this. Will you still love me? When I get older, if my looks not the same, I gain weight or gain so much weight and this and that. And like I said before, I'm married. I'm never good. I don't believe in divorce myself. I believe in working it out unless you violate those biblical principles as far as adultery and stuff like that. Then myself personally, I don't know if I ever get married, but I know I wouldn't violate it. So it's not another woman on this earth that can make me sleep with him and violate the covenant that I made with my wife, or the commitment, especially under God. So at first, it's God first did our relationship. So everything goes into play if you follow that same principles. It don't matter if it's job. I seen a young lady the other day speak about this, and she might have went viral now. Was speaking about I don't know if she's a singer or somebody, you might have seen it before, that she was talking about that she had to start thinking about it, that God created man and woman, and who's the head of the relationship, and how you speak to your husband should be the same way you speak to God. And a lot of women was in all this, but it was quiet. She was like, that's what she had to do. She was like, would that be the same way you speak to God? So it shed a light, and, hearing women think like that, like I said, but in this era of social media, in this day and age, this new world generation, we see that relationship, if you do the stats, I did them a while ago on a relationship podcast I did, was extra ridiculous. I think marriage is like 75%. If you know the exact numbers, you can quote it here. This is not that episode right there. I might do another one on here on Spotify for the new listeners. If y'all want me to, comment below, let me know what you think. But the stats is relationships, they don't last a year, 2 years. It's no genuine people, especially like on social media. Like I said, I'm in health and wellness nutrition for this long. I know that most of the big companies out there are sponsored by, you name it, Muscle Tech, Six Star, BPI Sports, a lot of companies. So I know a lot of athletes. I do still compete NPC, but going forward 2024, I'm going to promote more natural sports, natural bodybuilding, a natural federation and stuff like that. Getting into that aspect, God willing, if I can. So we're going to see how that go, but I'm still going to always promote health, fitness, nutrition, supplementation, proper use of supplementation. That's a big one. So help educating others how to invest in their health. That's why I team with Envision You, man. There's spray technology, especially mental health, anxiety, you name it. A lot of things that help you naturally without the side effects. We all know with these pills and stuff like that. I'm a believer in holistic healing. I still believe in consulting your doctor with anything you choose to do as far as health and supplementation and nutrition, but it's still up to your personal belief on what you want to do. I believe in second opinions, so you can always get a second opinion. You don't never be bullied into doing something that you don't want to do. Always ask questions, and like my wife, I don't got to worry about that. She can ask as many questions, as anybody. So on that aspect, we never. I'm a researcher. I'm gonna do more research and stuff like that. But you're not gonna change my mind to doing something that I know is not right or unhealthy, without checking the facts and checking the history of that. So it's getting tricky because I got a 1-year-old Titan who's getting the shots and stuff like that. And I myself personally don't believe in getting them because I don't think we got ours until later, until we went to school. So, jabbing them full under these shots in their first year, and they're really limited. They don't go too many places. I don't feel the need for it. I think old girl off the Cosby's, I forgot her name. She didn't do it. I don't know if she ever got a kids, but I believe in that kind of aspect. Well, let them get it older first. Do your research. The vaccines has been there. I'm for them. If it's going to help, it's going to prevent this and that. I agree with them because certain schools now and daycares, they require them. So I believe in it, but just not in the first couple of years of life. which they come into it and we're holding them jab, and that's a whole different ball game. But if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. If we're not, we're not. So I'm that way about it. But it just makes it hard with keeping the faith in today's society because you don't know what to trust. You heard anything, but especially the pandemic, you heard this one thing, you heard that, it's pros and cons and this and that about the experimental thing. So I'm not even going to use the word on, but I work with these guys. I know scientists, I know biologists, chemists, toxicologists, and I did say some things to especially people that I know and family members and stuff like that, and let them speak to the experts and share information from the experts. But during that time, everything was being censored, so you couldn't share it. And now the things that I was saying, it's come out to light. People speaking facts, and now you're talking about it. But certain platforms, you can't say still too many things about it, or your account might get demonetized or stuff like that and flagged. And people just want to work, make a living, do whatever they love to do. So that's another, that's just something that you got to take into account, being mindful about different platforms, their policy procedures and guidelines. I think YouTube just updated theirs. So it's different tools that come into play, but it is hard on some of these platforms to talk to a real human. Everything is computerized, so it's going to take you a long time. And by then, you done lost monies or you done passed the deadline, so you just suffer the consequences. But that's the thing about trying to do stuff on social media. You got to have multiple streams of income, especially with the cost rising. You look at society now, man, the loaf of bread, $4, $5, $6, you know what I mean? Everything skyrocketed since the pandemic, but the only thing that stayed the same is the pay. So I don't know if you think like I think our money is getting shorter while expenses going up, meaning we are going down. The middle class is not middle class no more. Normally now you're lesser than that. You're might not be all the way lower class, but if you calculated everything else going into it, you probably is lower class. The classes is not what you think no more. It was a certain group that got as rich during that time. So maybe you was lucky, you invested good, but it don't matter because money is still changing. Interest rates going up, gas is going up, food is going up. But we're constantly paying these high prices. I don't do it. I don't went plant-based, less processed foods, less going out. I'm not wasting money because the money that I am getting is not going up. So you can't continue to do the things you did before the pandemic. You got to be wise. You got to use your money wisely. You got to be strategic because it's going to come a time when your money is real short. And who knows, hard times might come, you might be tested, but that's why you got to try to keep the faith in it. Try to calculate, you might want to party this week, go out. You can't, but you just can't do the things that you was unless you're getting raises. Now, who knows? Your financial situation could be good. I don't know if you calculate it, but I always advise anybody, sit down and calculate your expenses, what's going up. If you haven't got a raise, you're going to be in trouble because everything has went up and your pay is the same. So your money is not going to go as long as it could be. You could be less savings now, less gas money because the gas went up. So you're taking less trips. But so you just got to be mindful. You still got to want to enjoy life. It's about balance, having the ups and downs, especially you in a relationship. But I'm not going to rattle on and on. This first episode, since it was kind of messed up, it kind of messed up my train of thought a little bit, but hopefully this has been educational for you. Hopefully I try to keep you entwined. Any questions or comments, I will be doing Q&As. You can follow me on YouTube. You can follow me on IG at CutNice50. We're going to be doing interviews and we're going to be reaching out to a whole lot more people. If you got somebody on your radar who you want me to interview, if they're in nutrition, fitness, health and wellness, religion, it don't matter. As far as pastors, I'm going to reach out to my guy Drayton, see what he got going on. And then we just going to go ahead and go from there, man. But don't forget to like, subscribe, share the content. Stay tuned for the next one, man. Episode 2 is going to be a banger. That's going to be Can You Forgive? And we're going to go into it. It's going to be a hot topic. A lot of things is still going to go into the breakdown of faith, health, nutrition, fitness, religion, and relationships. But we're going to want to know, can you forgive? It's your boy. With that, let us debate. We out.